Hi, my name is Famine Rice. I'm an Axie Infinity champion, and in my quest, I'll go over battling fundamentals, building your team, and advanced tips in order to help you guys progress in tournaments. Exclusively on YGG.
Hi, I'm Kuku. Have you wanted to play Axie Infinity Origins but don't know where to start? Come join my class where I'll teach you everything you'll need to know to quickly dive right into playing the game. Exclusively on YGG.
Yo, what's up, GM? How you doing, guys?
Let's go.
GM, everybody.
GM guys.
All right, shout out to everyone who's here on the YGG Discord for making it tonight. And yep, it is time. We are now in Season 4 of the Guild Advancement Program. And shout outs to everyone who made it to our AMA last Friday for the Q2 community update. I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty stoked about what's going to be happening tonight. We have the whole crew here on stage. We've got the one and only Fallen Corpses, and of course, no ACLs. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good.
You good?
Good. We're doing great, actually, I would say.
Yeah,
I mean, shout
the
out
sun is
to
shining.
ACLs for the awesome content for the past few weeks. He's been killing it. And for all you YGG OGs out there, I'm pretty sure you've seen no ACLs start out his career in the early days and up to what he's been doing very recently. So hats off to you, man. Good stuff.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah,
I
just
mean,
learning every day.
Yes, sir.
Whole community here. Love it.
Yes, sir. And I mean, of course, the star for tonight, we have the program manager for the Guild Advancement Program. That's the one and only Day. How are you doing, Day?
That's too much of an intro. Thank you, Sedano.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good.
No, not yet. You're gonna still have to introduce yourself because I'm pretty sure that a lot of members here in the YGG community know your story. But for those who haven't and is the first time who is going to be hearing Day or watching Day live on stream, like Day, you know, you started out as a community member. Could you tell us more how that happened and how you are here right now with the YGG team? Go for it.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Well, I will make you the short version because that could last forever. But I think I've been discovering YGG like 2 years ago, and I started just like as everyone spamming in general chat, asking for information and direction. And since then, it's been just more and more involvement to the point where I just wanted to give all my time to the guild and trying to like just grow the industry within like that community. And so now I'm program manager for YGG, the organization, and like what you know me more for recently is my work on the Guild Advancement Program.
I mean, to
But,
begin with, Day. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking that I didn't give you the full grasp of like what it was within those 2 years, but basically it was just working my way one step at a time and progressing toward the different like possible contribution that matched my skill set, but also my character, right? So I've been doing some community helping, some game ambassador stuff here and there, leading a guild in a specific game, and then like outside the realm of the game, I realized like I can like give my skill set to the product, and yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they 100%. You, me, Fallen, and even ACLs. You know, we've been closely working together in the YGG community on Discord, like even before you were part of the core team. It's just like the day in and day out, seeing how we can help, how we can improve what we're building here. And eventually, like, you found your spot and you are now part of the core team and even handling the guild advancement program together with Mike. I mean, the feedback that you've given YGG for the past few months, the past few years, has always revolved around how we could make these community experiences better. And I think for everyone else at home, you might not know, like me, Fallen, and ACLs, Amazing. A lot of us started as community members. Hearing about YGG, seeing what they're up to, trying out the games, and eventually falling in love and playing with all the other projects that we are part of. So everyone at home, now that we have the Guild Advancement program that they will be talking a lot more about, that was a really good opportunity to get started with YGG. So for everyone else watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or wherever you are, maybe you're at your friend's house, you're on your phones, coming over. We're on discord.gg/YGG, and make sure also to check out our Gap Season 4 quests and super quests for Axie Infinity that you can find on yieldguild.io. So Day, Gap Season 4, the moment everyone's been waiting for. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, sure. So basically, what's the Guild Advancement program? Maybe that would be a good start for people that are not used to that. So basically, what it's all about is being able to progress within the guild and build your reputation alongside other community members, in order to give yourself more legitimacy in the space. And along the way, of course, since that's something you do hand in hand with the guild, you have an opportunity to also take ownership over what you're building. So that goes through token rewards down the line. So that's the idea behind the Guild Advancement program. But really, the ultimate goal is to bring upskilling to anyone in having that sense of progression through the guild.
Awesome. I mean, it's really cool what you guys have been building here, right? So we are now at Season 4. And not everyone might know, but it has been almost over a year since we started Season 1. And we definitely did make a lot of changes for S4. Dave, could you talk more about the main differences that we can expect on maybe one about the games, and also two about the system in general, the questing system that's now on the new YGGD app?
Sure. Well, nothing much changed on the UI. So what you can see could seem similar to last season, but a lot has been going on within the content of the quests. So actually, we spend a lot of time triaging the quests, and more than 70% of the new quests are different from the last season quests. So even if you're not a new player, you will find a whole lot more content. I think a lot of efforts have been made as well into designing quests that are more accessible and have more information. So you're more keen to actually go toward the completion of these quests. Even though the quests have been made more accessible, there is also more difficult quests. So there is a whole spectrums of variability that you can approach in even more different ways, because we have also different quest types. So it's not just about more quests and more games, it's also about more experiences and more ways to contribute or express yourself within these quests. So if I were to compare it to last season, really, I would say that last season was more of a refocus to go back to the roots of what was important for the program. And this season is really capitalizing on what we learned and expanding toward really mapping the whole progression system and trying to bring value to what we mean is reputation.
I see. So definitely, and also this has been asked in the past or in our last AMA for the Q2 community update. Like the guild investment program, as that's pretty obvious. Like we're at season 4, and there'll definitely be a lot more seasons. Maybe one thing to take out of this is that we would love to hear what you guys think, the community, how you want to build these quests. What do you think we should have more quests for? What do you think we should modify, improve? And in general, this is our platform. Like this is something that we want the whole community to enjoy, first of all, to experience, and also to learn a lot out of. So we're not only going to be playing games here, but we're actually helping build what quests and GAP should be looking like for the rest of YGG. Maybe Fallen, like I have a quick question for you that you might want to share with the community, right? So you've been here since the start, and you've definitely seen how season 1, 2, 3, and now 4 has unfolded. But could you give us, a quick rundown on how you and your team, the core team, has been building this out? Like, what vision does the core team have for this, and what have you observed that you'd want to share with the community?
Yeah, so it's been a long time coming here. Like you said, I was one of the first community members actually to join this Discord, and now moving on to core. The idea has always been to continue iterating on how YGG can be that guild of guilds and provide something amazing within the Web3 and blockchain space using that technology, right? So the idea here is we wanted to have some sort of questing system that people could show their proof of work. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, Steam achievements or Xbox achievements, right? I think Xbox was actually the first to iterate on that in a platform, and we've seen many iterations of that over the course of its existence. But now with blockchain, like we can actually have all of this as proof of work, immutable on the blockchain and be rewarded for it. And that's what we're really pushing for here, right? Is for people to build this kind of resume, as we've called it, of work within blockchain, whether that's playing games, streaming, being a game ambassador, really anything that provides value to the community, we want to incentivize and then reward as that. So in Dave's case, he had a huge amount of, what we would say resume, right? Lots of work within the community that really showed for it. So when that position opened up to have somebody for Gap, right? We needed somebody. He was like our top candidate. He fit every role criteria perfectly, and we already knew that he was super reliable and helpful from all the past work that he did. So going forward, we're going to continue to iterate on that with our YGT profiles. And we did tease, the next kind of iteration of this going forward. Landfill teased it in our community update. If you haven't seen that, it's the actual leveling system, and that's going to take YGG profiles to the next level. Like we really didn't dive into how much more stuff will be going on with that leveling system in the Forge, but anybody who's getting a head start on Gap right now, that progression is going to be probably, again, no guarantees, but most likely carried over into that leveling and progression system. So you will have a nice boost if you've been participating in the past Gap seasons.
Yep, exactly. And Fallen, like you yourself, you're a quest creator, right? And you've been very active in developing what these achievements are going to be looking like. What are the requirements to qualify for quests for Splinterlands and also for League of Kingdoms. So maybe you could give us more info on how season 1 was developed, the quest for season 1 rather, and what are the differences now that we're at season 4?
Yeah, so it's really interesting to see the progression, right? Season 1, or we'll call it season 0 in a sense, was really kind of testing the waters to see how many people would participate in the quest. And again, we didn't have this fancy, you know, dashboard or anything like that. It was really bare bones, and in the sense there. And like you said, we had way less quests, way fewer games that we were taking care of there. And it was more of like, okay, well, what can we do that's feasible at that time, that we can track the data for and then reward the players. So we kind of brainstormed with our communities there, as Splinterlands and LOK in particular are, you know, kind of governed on their own by the community there. So it's really easy to kind of go to the general community and be like, hey, we have this idea about quests, but we're not quite sure what quests might be feasible. Can you help us work on that? And so we launched a few of those. After that season, we realized, hey, this works. Let's try and, you know, reiterate it and grow this season per season. I think that's what we've done a really good job on, especially with having Day now. Like, I think we've, you know, accelerated that like 10x, you could say, with how big and how quickly everything is growing. We have a steady base of people that are signing up and completing quests, and hopefully, you know, this season we can grow that again and continue to grow it as people, you know, learn the value and see like, hey, you know, we're already participating in communities or games. Why would we not get rewarded and build this resume, so that in the future, you know, we have this huge thing. And then, you know, once we get the leveling system, I think that's going to be a whole nother level, you know, pun intended, of this profile for YGG, and the people that have participated in GAP are going to be really, really happy. I know it's one of the things I'm most excited for as the next iteration of our systems here within YGG is that leveling, right? Like, that's, to me, that's super cool to finally put all this work that we've been doing for GAP, to quantify it on a profile that you can kind of show off and be like, hey, look, I'm a level 22. Or in Boring's case, who knows how high a level Boring and a lot of the other leaderboard like GAP maniacs in a sense will be, right, when this gets released.
Exactly. And I remember talking to Owl like way back and asking him like, what is your vision for the guild itself, right? How do these gamers, you know, how will they be participating and working and, you know, helping out YGG in the future? What does that look like? And what I remember what he told me was that eventually, like, YGG will be a lot more, or the team that will be making decisions about the guild and game activities itself will be the community. And I think this is also a really good prerequisite. You know, it's a really good stepping stone to get there, right? Because in the future, when, you know, we're already doing it, like, we're slowly onboarding community members into the core team, and guild advancement program and the leveling system will be really good indicators of, you know, your participation, your activity, your time and effort that you put into the guild, the contributions that you've made, and it makes it, you know, a lot more quantifiable, and at the same time visible for everyone to see, right? So there might be go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was just going to tag on to that. Like, that's where we get this future of worker resume, right? Like, Owl and Gabby, when we were first starting this was the whole idea, right? Is being able to quantify the work that people have been doing, especially, like, again, when we talked about DAOs or how DAOs should operate, we saw a lot of DAOs kind of just go head first without laying the foundation. And unfortunately, that's been the demise of a lot of them, right? Versus we're kind of going this other route where we're going to lay the framework with the community. Obviously, we take a lot of community input, but we still do a lot on the core side to lay that foundation down. Eventually, what we can see is the core team expanding much more slowly. And like you said, a lot more place into the community with our governance system. And probably a weight will be associated with the level of your profile and the GAP quest that you've completed. So it might, we're kind of looking at this as a like skill tree, and maybe Day wants to elaborate on this a little more. Maybe we're jumping the gun here, but right, different paths within YGG or even the broader Web3 ecosystem by looking at your GAP quests. So let's say you have a lot of GAP quests in gaming, right? Like maybe just general gaming, right? That will be another skill tree. maybe you have a lot of gap quests in the competitive side, like the esports side. So maybe that qualifies you for our esports team or future esports team. Like maybe we reach out to you saying like, hey, we have this new game, right? That we're looking for esports players. We see that you're a heavy esports player. Would you like to like participate and help us shape this esports team, give it a try? And then on the totally other side of the spectrum, you have people like No ACLs, right, who's building a very dedicated like streaming side, and we'll be able to see that in the gap quests, right? And we'll be like, hey, you know, we're looking for someone to handle this stream for this game. Do you want to take it over? So that's kind of where we're looking to progress these profiles, is really to be able to look at that, and when we need somebody, we can dive into the data of the gap quests and what people have accomplished and be like, hey, we think you're a perfect candidate for this. Would you like to try this out for you? So it's going to give a lot of people opportunities that they might not even think are available, but when they fall into the YGG side, we'll be able to know and say, hey, do you think you'd like to do this? So I find that really exciting.
100%, man. And even, you know, even beyond the NFTs, beyond the YGG rewards, like what do you guys, what I would want to share with everyone here is that you guys have to realize that there is a technology layer to this, right? Like this isn't just on the website happening like for you guys to claim your NFTs at the end of the season. Like YGG is building infrastructure that can and will be used for all the other programs that will be rolling out in the future, especially that more and more game partners are tying up with YGG from all over the world, realizing that we are the go-to guys, the go-to guild. And this is actually, you can see this in game. A good example of this was just very recently, like this week for the early alpha test for Medicine. There are a lot of YGG players in the game, and new players coming in get to know YGG. We help out the new players. We try to onboard them, tell us what we're doing, and eventually, like more and more people are going to be learning about what we're building here and the tech that we have right now. Super Quests, GAP, the D app can also be integrated to, let's say, Medicine or more and more games in the future. So, Dave, maybe a good thing to tell more of the community about here is what do you think Gap looks like in 3 years?
No, that's a hard one.
That's my favorite question.
Yes. Well, I could talk hours about the vision and the future of what we are building, but I think three years is a very long shot. So, but maybe I can give you the already next 6 months or what we aim to accomplish. Currently, we reach a point in the development of the program where we realize that operationally and content-wise, like we have pretty good ideas of what we want, and if we want to scale, we know that, and of course, still attain sustainability. So that's why we would scale. By the way, it's to bring sustainability to the program, so it can pretty much feeds on itself, and have more and more community involvement. So eventually, the core team like kind of led the community and build the program. That's the end game vision of the program, right? Having something like 100% organic, self-governed, self-sustainable in terms of like reward distribution. But for that, we have to put a lot of efforts inside the product and inside engineering and design in the next few months. So
for sure.
Instead of having like a gap that is seasonal, we want it to be evergreen, and for that we need to do a little more push on that, and that's what we are going to do for the next months.
Perfect. How about you, Fallen? Like, what do you think? What do you think GAP is going to look like in the future?
Like Day said, we kind of, 3 years from now might be a little far. We've already seen how much Gap has changed within 1 year. So who knows what happens within the next year. But like like Day said, we're really aiming to add these kind of permanent quests that you won't have to wait for season soar. You can kind of just, I want to go for that, achieve it, and then you'll have it. But again, on the broader scale, we want to continue to grow it, right? So we'll be adding even more games, right? YGG will be having quite a huge roster of games. We're not anywhere close to actually what we have in store for our partner games. Like we have a list of a huge amount. Like if people were to see the list, it's like you have to scroll down through it, and those games are starting to get to the point where they're going to have their actual releases fully, and once that happens, we're going to be having quests, right? Whether that will be the initial gap quests, and then maybe, who knows, we might even have some super quests once these other games partner with us and like, hey, we love what you're doing with us super quests, we want to onboard people, can you help tailor us some super quests? So this system, within 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, I don't think people will be able to. You'll be able to see the initial place where we came from, but I don't think it'll be distinguishable in that time. Like, it will change drastically.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe one thing here is like these quests, right? Now we have them seasonal, as you guys mentioned. Like we have we have an off season, and then we're at the 4th, and then by the time you go to the 5th, you're going to expect another off season period where this is when we get the feedback. We try to rebuild the quests, we add more requests, talk to more game partners, see who wants to join in. But one big change that I could confidently say is a lot more evident from the previous seasons is we are creating new quests regardless of the time period, right? So one of the most recent ones was our Champions Ascension gap quests. Could you tell us more about what changed? Like, what was the thought process here in plugging in a quest during off season?
Yeah, sure. So this one is a little bit atypical compared to other ones. It came from a reach out from them to actually try to see if they can do something within the program, and actually testing waters as to like, would people be like excited to play the game, and what do they think about the game. So really, I think the idea there was to add a discovery game, and the reason as for why we couldn't wait for the next season and we plugged them like before was first because we delayed the start of the seasons, and we still wanted you guys to have something in between the seasons to do, but also it synergized pretty well with the events that were ongoing on the Champions Ascension side. So that's how it was thought, and that's why it happened that way. And I think it's really, it shows as well our will to not have something that is seasonal but ongoing, and so if we could multiply these opportunities in the future and not be tied to the infrastructure or like the blockchain specificities, if we can like really develop some frameworks and processes to smooth everything out, I think we have a good chance to actually have that simulated. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, definitely the Champions Ascension quest is one step closer to getting to the feature of gap, right? That we don't have off seasons. I'll pass the mic on to you, ACS. Like, we definitely would want to hear from a very active community member. Like, what was the gap experience for you so far, and what do you like most about it?
Yeah, honestly, it's a good question, Sedano. I've just been listening to everything you guys have been discussing, right? I've been participating in the GAP since it started in season 1, and things have evolved so rapidly already, and the amount of support and initiatives that Yield Guild is offering to the community, it really is amazing to see, right? Like, and as games continue to be released and opportunities arise, there's just more creativity and more opportunity being introduced. So I can tell you, I started early on. I was doing community streaming, got into the game ambassador programs and getting into game testing, and that was kind of my wheelhouse, the things I enjoyed to participate in the community as far as my skill set goes, right? just how Day mentioned his journey, his skill sets applied to working in the background, working on products, and all these different community initiatives as well. So it's great that Yield Guild allows community to express themselves and push for opportunities, and then provide the support. And it's just been moving forward ever since. I can tell you, like, speaking about things that the future holds and how the guild plans to support community members based on their accolades acquired over time and proof of experience, right? It's already an effective tool at this time. So for community members that are grinding, participating in quests, contributing to the community in all these different areas, if you really put yourself out there, you work hard, you be consistent, and make meaningful connections, you can use this as a legitimate proof of experience and maybe collaborate with other organizations and guilds in the space as well. So it's been great. I love everything that Yield Guild is doing. I know that it's going to continue to evolve. Super quests are a very interesting factor as well. Being able to build with people that have had such an impact on the space and the Axie community, and introducing it in the way it has been. So I like everything so far, and I'm going to continue to do my thing. I encourage everyone in the community to do what you love and get involved in the initiatives, and just keep working hard, and the doors will open up.
For sure. For sure. I mean, shout outs to Jathan, who's watching on YouTube, and he says that he needs some help for the Gap quests, so he needs to find some teammates and friends to play together as a team. So all of you guys, don't worry if you guys are solo players. If it's your first time joining YGG, just hop into the Discord. Everyone's here. It's discord.gg/YGG, and don't be afraid to ask questions. We have the whole team, the whole community ready to help you guys out and get you started on the Guild Advancement Program and your Metaverse adventure. How about the leveling system, ACLs? What do you think about this, and how will this change for community members like you?
Yeah, it's an interesting update. I'm not really sure what to expect yet. We'll see what everybody involved, comes up with, and how the community reacts and how things go. But it sounds like an interesting concept. I know that it's just gonna further motivate everyone who's already doing the most right now. Like, shout out to Boring and everyone out here that's at the top of the leaderboards, completing every quest they can. But yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting layer, and it'll just make it even more interesting. I already like that these different quests and introducing all these new games just brings so many different people together, right? We have this guild of guilds, DAO of DAO type of community, and everyone's just in their own little pocket doing their thing. But based on your interests and what's going on, you kind of weave in and out, and everyone just connects in a unique way. So yeah, it's really cool. It's just going to amplify that even further.
Yep. So definitely agree with you there, ACLs. We actually have a clip from our AMA last Friday where Landfill dove into further details of how the leveling system for the Gap quests is going to be looking like. Yep. Roll video.
Man, they get more leaks.
Looking at is looking at the work that's been done through Gap seasons 1, 2, and 3, and then moving into season 4, the quests and participation and the badges that you're earning, we're starting to shape those things into a reputation and progression building. What that looks like is the badge leaderboard turns into something that includes YGG experience. So the work that you're doing in quests and then the achievements that you've already completed turn into experience points. And this converts to leveling up your reputation and your profile within YGG. So you'll be seeing a lot more. This is some early calculations using the seasons 1 to 3.
Nice. So there you go, guys. So straight from Landfill himself, the quests that you have finished the badges that you've been able to get and earn will be carried over, right, Dave?
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah. Sorry, Paul. Do you want to talk about that? Or?
I honestly don't know if we've confirmed it. You know, we
I
obviously
can
want
confirm
to. There you go.
I think it's a big question for everyone, right? So, will we be counting the last 4 seasons, or will we be starting fresh in season 5? Because like, there's 2 sides to it, right? Like, you can look at it as us incentivizing those who have been participating in GAP early on. And also, it also could be, you know, how alpha tests usually wipe the servers before they open the doors to the public. It could also be that. So definitely, everyone at home, you have to stay tuned, and we will give you the final answer on that, whether we're confirming or not. If those badges that you already have will earn XP or will be credited XP once we launch the leveling system.
Yeah, we'll have a whole. Oops, sorry, Dave.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. Yeah, I was just trying to confirm, like, of course, our plan is to reward you of all your past accomplishments. This is not like we are distributing even more rewards to you. It's just to make it count as to like introducing a new way to measure your contribution. So it's just even fairer to you guys to just introduce it to you. It's not like we are giving you a gift or anything. It's just what we owe you, in a sense. Well, at least that's in the line of what we think of the progression system. And so, yeah, we have data across like all the past seasons, and we will make it count in the leveling system later on. Sorry for them.
Yeah, no worries. I'm answering
Spill the
chat.
beans.
Yeah, no, I like you said, Dave. We're all pushing for previous gap seasons to obviously carry over to the leveling system. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. But we'll have a stream and a whole AMA around the leveling system once we get closer to launching it. So don't worry, people. You will not be in the dark.
Yep, 100%. So Blue Bottles is on YouTube right now. So Blue, if you want to hop on the Discord, that's discord.gg/YGG if you want to come in over and join us. It's also flashed there on your screen. So everyone at home, if you guys have any questions about GAP, about Super Quest, we have Day here, we have Fallen, Sedano, myself, and ACL. So don't be afraid to shoot them over to our AMA voice channel on Discord. And I think later on, we actually have we're going to have a guest who will be talking about one of the most anticipated quests in GAP, which is the game testers quests. Because one, not only is this quest, you know, a really, really good way to gauge community interest and also be able to check out the games as early as possible, but at the same time, you get rewarded with soulbound NFTs for your time and effort that you put into it. So stay tuned for that, guys. And throughout the week, Fallen, maybe you could tell us more about the activities that we can expect from the community team for the launch of GAP.
Yeah, sure. I could dive in the meantime. Yeah, so again, we kind of have this weekly cadence or schedule for our spotlights, where again we have our kickoffs, then we have the community AMAs the day after, or depending, it gets moved around, depending on the work schedule, and then we have AC streaming throughout the week as well. So and obviously we have May with Game Hunters and Ladies for Gaming throughout the week there. Also, we will be adding no ACLs whenever he wants to have his own streams, and we're not opposed to anyone else. Again, we're always happy to have people who want to stream within the Discord. So if you see a spotlight coming up and you're like, hey, I love that game, I'd like to be featured, can you put me in the scheduling for that week so people know I'm going to be streaming? We're happy to do that. So you can always reach out to myself or any of the other community team in that regards there. But yeah, that's the general schedule we're going for. I'm going to be kind of going through pixels on Monday, as well as just general walkthrough for any newcomers in Gap. I believe AC is looking to stream Gensho Keshi and Big Time, so help people with those quests. May will be doing her regular LOK stream this week, where she'll be covering that, and then whatever other games she wants. So, no ACLs. You're welcome to cover any other games that you want to cover this week too. Just let me know. I know you've been itching to have some screen time there, and we're always happy to give you whatever you want. So please let me know. Maybe you can take over tomorrow's stream, my Monday stream. You can co-host it.
We'll cook it up. We'll see what's going on. But always appreciated, always a pleasure, and yeah, love to the community. We are YGG. Together we play.
100%. I think we have May Zing ready on the back end to talk about the Game Testers program and the quests that we have for them this season. May, are you there?
Hi guys. Can you hear me?
Hey, May.
Yep.
Hey.
It's good.
Yep, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, May, first off, what is the Game Testers program and why is it important?
Oh yeah, so if you haven't checked out yet, we have the Game Testers program here in YGG where you can try out the games before they launch and of course be rewarded for it through our Gap Quest.
Nice. So I think you guys can see it here on screen. Maybe May and Day, you guys could talk about our quests for the Game Testers this season.
Yep, so we have 3 for this season for Game Testers. First off is the Genin, which is the basic one. And this one, you only need to complete 1 game test, which means completing 1 game test means you've signed up for it, you've played the game, and you have submitted your feedback to us on time. So you only need 1 for you to be eligible for the Genin quest. Second one is the tune-in, right there. It's our intermediate quest for game testers. You need to accomplish 40% of all of our game tests for that season. Now, this one can be a bit tricky because actually game testing, it's not really per season, because once we conclude the gap season for like last time, season 3, we are already doing some tests in between. So we are working on that one with Landfill on how we can make this better. But for now, we are doing it per season, quote unquote, and that includes all the game tests, even when the gap is not yet live. So right now, we have 8 game tests completed. So Gio is right. You have to submit it on time, the feedback form, because we have a lot. We have been given 7 days to complete the feedback form. You can edit it during this time. So once you've done that, that is 1 point to your quest. So again, tune in. Game tester quest should be around 40% or more completed game test. So if we have, say, 10 game tests throughout the season, you must have at least 4. So it's like that. The next one, the highest one for GT is the Jonin. So for this one, you need to complete 60%. So if we have attained 10 game quests for the season, you must have at least 6. But shout out to Supremo. I think he have accomplished all of our game tests so far. Nice, yeah. we have a lot of game testers who have been completing and really acing all of our game tests. So shout out to all of you guys. So yep, those are our game tester quest for this season.
I mean, my favorite part about the game testers is that I get to play the games before everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
agreed.
And you can PK.
yeah, yeah. I mean, a really good advantage here is that, for example, in let's say Grand Saga, right? So we also have quests for Grand Saga. But the fact that you're able to play the games like early on in an alpha and in a beta, uh, what I definitely love the most is that when I play the full release, I already know how to play the game. I know what
Yeah.
items I'm gonna farm. I know what equips are good. I know what like weapons I should be hunting for. So yeah, I mean, it's quite different when it's you yourself playing an early version of the game than just watching it from a content creator online, right? And I mean,
Yeah,
also
that's true.
ACLs as a content creator, it's a lot easier for you to be able to get access to games being part of the game testers, right? Because you definitely have firsthand experience with this, man, right?
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, May and everyone involved in the game testing initiatives, they've been doing an amazing job. The program, like you said, the best thing is being able to access these games early in their development stages. And not only that, we play a major factor in how they move forward when they're coming up upon their full release, right? We share our feedback, we help them with all the bugs and all the different things that are wrong with the game, and they refine it and make it better. So it's a great experience, and it partners very well with content creation. Anyone in the community that creates content, you should be a part of the game tester program. You get access to alpha and beta games early, and a lot of them, they allow you to stream in the early stages as well. So it's definitely a great program. It's been a great time.
For sure. So May, how do the YGG community members join the game testers? Like, what's the process?
So yep, I've shared a link tree right there. So it's just 3 simple steps. So step 1, join of course YGG Discord. You have to be in YGG's main Discord. Step 2, apply as a game tester. So we have the form there linked as well in that link tree. And then step 3, join our Discord server. So for those of you who have jumped into our server and you feel like you're lost because you couldn't see all the other channels, don't worry. We are doing a screen test for our tester, making sure that they are really part of our community. And then we add you into the game testers pool as one of our testers. Also, one great benefit that I can see with being in the program is that some of the tests give exclusive rewards to our testers. Like there has been some tests that has given us NFT access, and we let the game testers keep those NFTs. So, and of course, if there's a possibility of this one getting into the roster of games in YGG, you are the first in line for our scholarships, our game ambassador program. So all of those perks as being part of the game testers program.
That's amazing. No pun intended.
The truth. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so everyone at home, don't forget, definitely if you guys are avid gamers, I think the Game Testers program is a perfect fit for all of you guys at home who would want to learn more about the projects and the best games that are coming out in Web3. So maybe one more before we go to Q&A, right? One thing that we want to share with everyone is I bet a lot of you guys have this on your mind. Like, so how do I join in GAP? Like, what's the process to be part of the Guild Advancement Program? How do I, get access to these quests? So it's pretty easy. Like, all you have to do is first you have to have a YGG Guild badge. And for most of our community members, like you guys have already minted your guild badge, and these are soulbound to NFTs that you can't, soulbound tokens, NFTs that you can't take out from your account. So once you've minted it, then it's always going to be there. And with that same wallet that you log into the D app with, yieldguild.io, the website will detect if you have a guild badge or not. And right after, all you have to do is pre-enroll in the quest. And now in this case that we are in season 4, enroll in the quests. And definitely don't forget to check out the YGG Discord for some Google Forms, some further instructions on how you can submit your the proof that you guys have done the quests. I have a follow-up question here. It's from the community. So I think this one's for you, Day. Is there a formula for the calculation of the rewards and SBTs and NFTs that is placed per quest? Like, what's the whole process here and how you come up with them?
Yeah, sure. So you may think it's completely random or subjective or up to magic tricks, but as a matter of fact, we have some kind of formula to gauge and to gauge which rewards get to what quests. And the reason why from season to seasons similar quests can be different is mainly because our ability to target community members got refined, and so we got more and more comfortable into distributing more tokens. That's also because the program is like reaching more people, so like we're just more confident into like decentralizing it a bit and like offering more opportunities for you guys in the community to have that sense of like shared ownership and like share that path into growing YGG. And so if I'm going to talk more into the specific of the formula, basically we have a base and then it undergoes some factors around like skills, efforts, but also the roles and the type of contribution. And then there is like a function that we can have in that we tweak every season. So there is some room for subjectivity, but less and less. And as we progress, the system gets more refined and granular. So we ensure that this subjectivity disappears and it becomes more and more mathematical to ensure that it's fair. So the system is not perfect, so sometimes we have to adjust. But I think it gets closer and closer to something that is fair across the board.
Nice. So I hope we answered your question there. And don't forget, like we still have a few minutes before we're at the top of the hour. So make sure to send them down here on our Discord channel. It's discord.gg/YGG. I have a question for you, May. It's from Tito A. He's asking, so are the rewards for, I assume these are for the gap quests on game testing. So do these quests stack up or can you only get the highest tier reward?
Yeah, we have asked this about this question. Yeah, you can only be eligible to either one of the three. So if you want to go for just so let's say you have only tested 5, so you can be eligible for the tune-in. So if you've only tested 2, that's for the Genin only. So that's it. We don't really promote double dipping. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so maybe this one is a tech question and an ETA on this day. So we still have a few pending rewards from the last season, and also when can we expect to be able to mint the guild badge on the new YGG website? Like, do you have a timeline for these updates?
So I don't have a precise timeline, but I have information for both. I think the most pressing one is the rewards that are yet to be claimed for last season. So the calculations are done. We recollected all the addresses, and so we forwarded it to our engineering team. They are all ends on the Super Quest release. So currently they are really packed and working hard to make it happen in time. And so I think it will be postponed just after that is done. That being said, it's soon, of course, but I don't have a precise date for that, and that's the information I can relay to you. As for the integration of the badge mint into the website, I think nothing has been formalized yet, but I can share a link later on the chat for upvoting the requests if that's something that the community is interested in. Because it's true that we have a link for the minting, but it's still on the old site and it has not been a priority. But if you guys think this is a major one, definitely upvote it and we will take it into account.
Gotcha. Thanks for that, Day. Great. So, guys, make sure to drop your questions here on the Discord channel. And yeah, we also are going to be releasing the forms pretty soon that you will be needing to submit the requirements for some of the quests. So definitely make sure that you are in the YGG Discord. While I have you here, Day, what is the best way to be able to send feedback or ask for help directly to you guys?
Okay, so there is a few ways actually. Discord has been working well. We have a channel like Gap Questions, that is a channel where quest owners answer general question about their specific quests or a question about the programs. We also have community helpers that can handle this kind of frequently asked questions. I lurk around the Discord as well, so you might see me answering those. And other than on the Discord, for anything that is technical, I believe that we have an email that is recently set up, that is support@yieldguild.games, for anything that is related to the website or the technical difficulties. So we would use email to treat these demands. Other than that, I think some ways to actually give feedback would be to attend Gap Council sessions. So these are weekly sessions that I will be starting to relaunch on August 11, and so it will happen weekly. So that's a good occasion to get involved into the Gap, whatever your contribution level. Just attending a session, leaving some feedback, or dipping yourself more into the functioning of the program. This is where it happens. I will give you news very soon about it, since I have to plug the event for August 11th, and you will see that reflected on the Discord event tabs.
Nice. All right, thanks for that, Day. Yeah, we are at the top of the hour, but before we go, we have a few more questions. One question that I can answer here is, I think it's from, is it Nocturnal? But yeah, we have a question about the marshals and live streaming, content creators. So Day and myself will be answering this. So will there be quests for marshals? Will there be quests for content creators, streamers? And why isn't it included in the release of season 4? So from my end, what I can say is that if you look at these roles where, let's say, for example, content creators, so we technically don't really have timelines for content creators, whether can they create content or should they be creating content during an off season and on season one or not. Look, we want to reward you guys who are helping put out the name of YGG there. Like, you're helping us carry the flag of YGG whenever you play, whenever you're live, whenever you're on stream, whenever you make videos. So I think this is more fit for an ongoing type of quest, and not a time bound or season bound, right? And for the marshals, I think goes the same way, like helping and streaming, and also being on the back end for media of what we put out in YGG. This also doesn't have a time frame. So as Fallen said, that slowly we are looking to have our quests not to be time bound anymore, right? We want them to be ongoing. I mean, how about you, Dave? What do you think? Why don't we have the marshals and the content creator quests from your end?
Yeah, so from my part, on the managing side of it, like to handle the program as a whole and trying to see what fits where, it was really tricky to decide as to where the marcher quest fits and what would make them successful. So we made a try last season, and there's been a lot of success to the quests, but we felt like it needed to be recalibrated a bit because it didn't align quite with other quests. We are still definitely looking forward, like having that kind of branch inside the progression system. So you can expect quests to be plugged within the first month. That will be essentially like quote unquote marshal quests. But like it's really like developing that content creation branch, and as to the answer as to why it's not already done, it's just because there's been a lot of quests, and we are working on it now.
Yep. Yeah, definitely, like pieces like these that are more intricate, definitely require more time. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that all of you guys are playing the games that you want to play as soon as possible. But that, that really doesn't, stop you. Like, if you guys want to make content, like no ACLs here, if you guys want to stream, if you guys want to help out with the community, like, go for it. And, whatever time and effort that you put into those, like, we definitely notice it. As simple as, like showing your links, like sending us the links every time you go live. Just sharing screenshots of your stream, sharing, in videos of you guys playing with your friends. Yeah, make sure to tag us, send it on a general chat, tag us on Twitter, and we definitely would love to see what you guys can come up with. I think we are at the top of the hour, and everyone at home, if you guys have friends who weren't able to make it tonight, don't worry, we have a full week of activities. We will be posting the schedule soon, and we definitely will be seeing everyone else throughout the week. If you guys have questions, make sure to drop them, and we will get that answered for you guys. I mean, that's good in my end. How about ACLs, May, Fallen Day? Do you guys have anything else that you want to share with the community?
Yeah, you guys can go ahead. If you got anything to share?
So when do we see you next on stream, ACLs?
I will be on stream. I don't have an official schedule yet for some of the stuff I create. Just keep an eye out this week. I got a couple games I'm going to stream. I've got to connect with you guys and see what we'll do with the schedule there. So
we're gonna definitely gonna make a ACL. Once you have your name for your stream, we're gonna shout you out. There'll be a regular ACL stream.
Yeah, no worries.
People can look out for
sure.
that.
YGG's been so supportive, like from the start. So you guys don't even stress. We're cooking things up. I'll be coming with more content, all throughout the week. Eventually, I'll get a schedule going again. You know me, I always try to stay consistent and keep everybody informed. So yeah, stay tuned. Participate in the gap. That's the way to go, and doors will open. Just put the work in. It doesn't cost anything to go out and do what you enjoy and share content. It just takes some time and effort, and yeah, it pays off down the road, right? So keep doing your thing. It's all about community here in YGG. Much love.
Yeah, Day, anything else from you, buddy?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I went into technical difficulties with my computer, but I'm here to close the AMA. So yeah, thank you guys for joining just the AMA first and also participating in the gap. I see a lot of familiar faces on the Discord. Thank you for the questions as well. Like really important to go deep into those. And for the ones that like didn't have their question answered on stream, I will be in the chat to answer them. So definitely spend some time there, and I will get to the bottom of each and every one of these. So yeah, as some last words, I would say good luck with your grind, and I will see you soon, and with more quests and to refine the program further.
Awesome, 100%. So guys, any more questions, drop them on the Discord. And yeah, we'll be seeing you guys throughout the week. Thanks, YGG fam. Peace out. Have a great night.
Cheers, guys. Yeah,
GG.
together we play.
Let's go.
GG's,
We are
guys.
YGG.